Hi guys, thanks for tuning into the channel. My name is Liz and I'm a part-time reseller in Maryland. In today's video, I take you with me to my favorite thrift store to see if we can find anything awesome that we can flip for a profit. Let's go check it out. So here we are as we enter this store. They put a lot of items on these front tables, and some of these items are very tempting for me, including this mug, which reminded me of those hand-painted Starbucks mugs that are worth like $100, but this one was not. I did eventually put it back, which I don't think I catch on film. I spent quite a bit of time putting things back where they go. I like these bookends. This is damaged, so I didn't even pick them up. I like those old fisherman bookends, and I feel like that 60s, 70s stuff is kind of back. That kitschy type look. I hardly ever, though, find anything worth buying in this first section. I think it's probably because it's what everyone sees first and it's picked over. I hope there's a home for that. Not my home. I no longer pick up planters. I suppose I'm going to have to take that back at some point, but baby planters especially, they are so cute, but they do not sell for me. I'm sure they might sell online, but maybe not enough to make it worth the listing and the shipping and everything. I thought she was interesting, but she was missing an arm, and that didn't seem worth it, but she had a cool look to her, sort of like that art pottery look, and this wanted to be Yadro and was not. So I give up pretty quickly on this section because I couldn't tell you the last time I scored something here. So I'm moving on to the next section, and these caught my eye. These are really beautiful, like leaded glass. I don't know if they were like party light. I honestly, in the moment, I couldn't really tell if they were fantastic or just sort of run-of-the-mill. So, as my mom used to say, I took them for a ride, but I couldn't find comps, so I did put them back. I was hoping that these were going to be, oh my goodness, what's the name of it? I can't remember the name of the plates that Crazy Lamp Lady Jocelyn always finds off the top. Rose Medallion. But they were very heavy, and Rose Medallion is very thin and almost translucent, so. This I took for a ride. I thought it was kind of cute with these pressed flowers in it. And then I talked myself out of it because it looked like maybe moisture or it gotten dried out, and I just didn't think it was going to be worth that much. This felt like a message from the universe to like slow down because maybe there's something of value. This was all chipped up along the edge, or I probably would have bought it. Oh, I was taking my thumbnail. I am not normally drawn to these sort of decorative, collectible, quote, collectible plates, but because there was a whole set and they were so cute, I don't know if I was feeling sentimental, I picked them up. I promptly put them back. I was kind of smart on this day because that set of 5 was selling for $10, and I think they were like, I don't remember what they were each here, but not worth it. For some reason, I always love this. I used to buy the game boards of those. I think I did sell them all eventually. And look at this little classic Harry Potter. There were some interesting things in here. This I took for a ride, but it didn't have a price tag. And when I looked up the comp, it wasn't worth that much. So, yeah, I'm thinking, oh, Valentine's Day, and then I wanted to see if maybe the price tag was inside, but then I forgot there was no price tag. You know, you're multitasking. Sometimes it's not your best work, but isn't that cute? But they would have given me a hassle because it didn't have a price tag anyway, which for some reason, like I said, I didn't notice, and I forgot the elastic. So, I left it on the shelf. Sorry about that. This little dish was so cute. This one went for a ride also. He doesn't look like he's going to go for a ride, but he does. It looks like someone else had tried to see who that was made by too. It was a modern piece and didn't have a ton of value. I really like the look of this mug. It was just really pretty and different, kind of like a cameo type look. But again, after I took her for a ride and looked up comps, it just didn't seem like it was going to pan out for both of us. So I put her back in the right spot. Well, where I found her. Maybe I put her back with the mugs. I can't remember. So there was a lot of clear glass. Not the textured like Scandinavian glass that we all look for now. But there was some pretty etched glass, and I couldn't help but focus in on a few of those vases, even though for me, as a reseller, they weren't going to work. If you were looking for a vase to give flowers to someone or for your own home, some of these would have been pretty nice. And I think this one might have been real crystal, but it did have a significant chip. Not that I have great luck with crystal, but you can tell it's heavy. It's actually cut glass, not pressed glass. And sometimes you can see little rainbows. That's how you can tell crystal. I thought this was really cute. I mean, it's like that Capodimonte style, chipped as usual. Didn't get it. There were some other resellers in these aisles on this day, and I was having a little bit of trouble in some of the aisles shopping the next section because they were paused and sort of accidentally blockading the travel lane, so to speak. So some sections I paused in longer than normal because I was waiting for these people to have their turn. And I liked the bubbles in this bullicante, I believe is the Italian word. But this was not like that controlled bubble. But I'm looking at it to see it's not well controlled. And I don't know if it was hazy glass or dirty. I ended up passing on it. I have a lot of trouble with clear glass, and even colored glass these days has been a challenge. I thought that was nice. I couldn't figure out what it was, but I liked it. I don't know if it once had a lid. Maybe you know. Maybe you can leave me a comment. This was so shiny that I thought it might be sterling for just a second. And it had kind of a nice look, but I think it had been used in a crime or something because it had a dent at the top. Or it was like misshapen, I should say. Those were actually really cute. This is where I'm waiting for these resellers. They were agonizing over one candlestick, which looked really, really cool. It was like glass and had all these petals. It was like floral. I don't know how it was made. They took it for a ride and then they brought it back later, and I looked at it and I passed on it too. So maybe their work at assessing it helped me assess it more quickly. There was something about those that was interesting, but I said no. So I moved on to the glassware, and I thought these were Arkarock at first. But I looked them up, and I was very tempted because these are such classic pieces, these tumblers. But when I did look them up, I realized that it just wasn't going to be worth it with shipping. I'll throw up a comp for you. They were not very expensive. They were only $1 each, but by the time I wrapped them to ship them, it just wasn't going to work out, so they stayed there. And these were so cute, but I looked those up too, just to be sure. And they also stayed there. I do not need 2 glasses. Wesley thinks he's going to start barking, so. So, of course he wants to bark during the voiceover. Sorry, guys. So I grabbed 3 of these Star Trek glasses. I'll show you in the haul. Now, this ended up being my favorite part of this trip. There were a lot of good purses. And I will show you at the end some comps when I do the haul. I know a lot of you really enjoy the haul and the teachable moments and how I can slow down and be more detailed. Look at this one. That is a yes. I think Homeschooling Picker picked one up like that recently. I don't think it was Coach like this one is, but I think she picked one up, and that was sort of what caught my eye in a way, but I think it would have caught my eye anyway. And this was cute, but I have a lot of vintage purses. I'm trying not to just hoard all the vintage purses. I'm trying to stockpile the valuable ones. Some people do great with Vera Bradley. That isn't me, though. I don't do well with it. I think people secretly know that it's just not my favorite look for some reason. I prefer a leather bag. So I'm checking it out to make sure that, yes, It is what I think it is. The price tag was a little scary. This one is gorgeous. I can't wait to show you more in the haul. That is leather. It is woven leather. It was so soft. The color is beautiful. I don't use shoulder bags too much, but it's tempting. And that was actually a very nice feeling bag, but it was Lucky Brand, and I figured I had a couple of more like designer type bags already, so I ended up not getting it. I didn't really like that nylon interior, even though it's easy to clean. And I checked the scarves and the hats because I always hope that I'll find something, and I thought this was cute. I did take it for a ride, but when I was editing my own cart, I realized the zipper didn't work. So unfortunately that went back. It did have a little bit of value, and I think that would be really cute if you were planning a trip, you know, you were going to go to the casinos. You could have this little beaded like wristlet. Actually, I think it was crossbody, and look how cute that clutch is. I did pick that up as well. So we're wrapping up here. The haul's coming up next. I'll go into more detail about everything for you because it is hard to film. I was using my phone with one hand and shop with one hand, and make sure you do get to see everything. But I did try to be a little more mindful so that I could help you guys out. Okay guys, so I really did try to make an effort to show you everything I was picking up while I was in the store, but I still like to have that sort of teachable section of the video to slow down even more and show you what I may already know or what I might have found out about the items. So this is everything I got yesterday. You'll notice I put some things back. They either had damage or I used Google Lens and found out that they weren't worth the flip. Sometimes I put things back also if they're large or fragile, and shipping them is gonna be really difficult and a big risk. So I did get 3 purses. 2 of them I have identified and I'll put screenshots up for. This is one of those like expandable clutches. I wanted to show you the tag inside because it's a really cool looking tag. This is Georgetown leather design, and it has like this metal piece in here that kind of like pops open. I feel like this is probably from the 80s, obviously leather, and I paid $5.99 for that, and I'll throw up a comp to show you about what that's worth. I think that will sell in the booth. I really like this actually. This is, so many clutches are so small. This is really, really cute. And it's like a chocolate brown, almost plum color, which is really nice. As soon as I saw this bag, I knew it was something. And as you shop for purses, I would recommend that you touch them so that you start to kind of train your hand to recognize if it's leather or not, because I couldn't do that when I first started doing this 10 or 12 years ago. But after years of shopping for bags, I now can tell if something's real leather or not. I would say 95% of the time. So this is a Coach bag. It's got this cute belt buckle like detail. It does have the Coach label inside. I haven't cleaned it up or anything, and I did pay up for it, but it's so darn cute. I couldn't help myself. So I paid $30 for that, which is kind of crazy actually. I must have really liked it, but I did look up comps. I'll show you what they were, and I decided it was worth it. I will more than double my money, so I decided it was worth it for a specialty item. I've never seen this Coach bag before in person. Well, anywhere actually. I have not identified this purse. This is not rattan or straw. This is woven leather. It is amazing. It feels amazing. It looks amazing. I don't use this type of bag, or I would keep it because it's so, so cool. So if you know anything about that bag, leave me a comment. If I find anything out before I post this video, I will throw up a screenshot and I will try to hunt that down for you. So I paid $14.99 for that. Once I find out what it is, if it's true vintage, I can sell it online. I think it will do well. And if it's not, I can sell it in the booth, and I still think I'll more than double my money on that. I couldn't resist these Minnetonka moccasin-like slippers, almost like slides. Very little wear, very clean, really cute, easy to throw on. They were only $5.49. And I'm not saying that this is a huge flip, but even if I just keep these and throw them on around the house, they just are so cute, and I just think they're always in style. But I will still throw up a comp for something similar so you can see that that was worth the flip. And I think I looked up pretty much everything with the exception of a few things I couldn't find. I really like this Chinese checkers glass serving dish. I used to always buy the metal, like the actual game boards, but they don't sell that well for me, but I feel like this is a really cute thing. So this is Two's Company. I think technically this is vintage, but not like super duper vintage, maybe like 90s. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. $4.99, I think I can get about 15 in the booth. I don't think I'll bother shipping it for a $15 sale because I offer free shipping. So I'd have to charge $30 for it and then say I had free shipping. Yeah, so anyway, plus it could get broken. It's not the thickest glass. This I bought because I just thought it was lovely. This little trinket dish with this beach scene. I might actually give this to my in-laws because they live near the beach, and I think they might really like that as a little trinket dish for rings near the sink or a nightstand or something like that. So I really, really liked the design in this bowl. It kind of has that I'm a great artist, but I went to pottery night with my friends kind of look. And when I turned it over, this rough surface that kind of looks smoky, it's quite often black. I can't read the signature, and I'm not sure it's like a studio potter, but I'll check it out. Look at the felted bottom though. They've probably had this for a while. I believe this is Raku, R-A-K-U pottery. It's very popular right now, and you'll see some of this like exaggerated dark crazing that looks like the item is cracked, but that's part of the firing process. And I don't know a lot about the process. I just know that when I see Raku pottery, especially one that I wouldn't mind keeping, I always buy it. I'm gonna look this up, see if I can read that signature. This could be a shippable item. It's not that big, or it will probably sell in the booth because it's really, really lovely, and it's a nice size for almost anything you might want to do. My guess maybe is that this is from like the 90s. You know, these spirals, you always see those in the 90s, in 90s type stuff. Star Trek type stuff always sells in my booth. And actually, when I looked up these glasses, the one I found was like 12 or 15 bucks for one. So I think I still will sell them in the booth, but I'm gonna do a little more research on those. Star Wars stuff, Star Trek stuff. I always do look it up because sometimes it's a repro or it's just not a big seller. So I did look those up in the store to make sure they were worth picking up. And so I did pick them up. So even though this mug isn't that amazing, I love studio pottery mugs. I know one of my favorite YouTubers also does. I can't see if that's a signature next to that rectangle. I think it might be. So I'm gonna look that up. I paid a few dollars for this. It will sell in the booth. They always sell in the booth. But I wanted to let you guys know that even though if this sells, let's say for $15 in the booth, or maybe more online if I identify it, there are a few makers that you should look for studio pottery mugs. Tom Coleman is one, and he has very colorful, and you can just tell it's studio pottery type pieces. And I'll throw up a screenshot of one of the mugs I had by him. I don't remember the exact price off the top of my head, but it sold for an exorbitant amount. I want to say over $100. Bill Campbell, you'll get to recognize his glazes. His mugs sell for a ton too. I think it was Lavender Clothesline missed one in one of her videos recently, and I was like yelling at the screen like we all do, because it's like a $50 to $75 mug per piece, maybe more depending on the glaze. So I'll throw up a couple of screenshots, the Tom Coleman that I sold, or one similar if that works better, and then a couple of Bill Campbell options. So you guys can start to train your eye to recognize those mugs because they can bring a lot of money. And Coleman and Campbell have a lot of vintage pieces. So if you only sell vintage, you could do that. You could sell it on Etsy, that is. So this was $5, but my family has loved Harry Potter for years. And I think this will sell in my booth. They have like a Wizards weekend near my antiques booth in Maryland, and I just think this will still sell, and he's so adorable. I couldn't help myself. The next two pieces are these beautiful, I guess I would call it leaded glass fruit. The fruit motif is in. I think I paid $2.99 each. These are probably like 15 bucks online or something. I'm not 100% sure these are vintage. They might be, but I think they'll sell in my booth and someone will want to hang them in their window if it isn't me. Okay, so those seemed worth it and so pretty. There was a third one that was broken. I really tried to make sure I wasn't getting anything broken, and I looked everything up. With the exception of this is a Longaberger piece, so I feel like it's got to be worth $2.99, but I don't know exactly what it is. Like, is it a spoon rest? I don't know what it is. And I couldn't find it using Google Lens, and I couldn't find it typing in keywords like Longaberger, leaf, dish, metal. So let me know in the comments if you have any idea maybe it's a spoon rest. I feel like I'm missing something. What this is, I don't think it's an ashtray. I'm sure you could use it for whatever you want. It's really cute. It's really pretty. So again, for $2.99 on that one, I did take that risk. This box I found after I was like basically done filming. I was like leaving the store and putting things back so I wouldn't get in trouble with anyone for putting stuff in the wrong spot. I had a Las Vegas beaded purse and the zipper didn't work. So this little box was so cute. It has the original paperwork and price tag inside. It was originally $30. And I just thought it was really, really sweet. And so I didn't mind paying $1.99 for that. I haven't decided if that's for the booth or not. I'll throw up a screenshot and those kinds of things are the things that help me decide where I'm putting something. If it's worth a lot of money, I don't mind doing the free shipping online, right? If it's a vintage item and it's not huge and breakable and not worth that much. So I'm not gonna ship this because its retail value is about $15. So, you know, adding a little extra to pad myself with the shipping makes it makes the price point too high for the buyer. But a specialty piece that someone might be paying, say, $75 for or something, or maybe more, depending on the artist, is a little bit more worth it. And if I had to charge $80 and do free shipping, I'm still getting a return on my money. So I have to make those decisions, as do you. I always appreciate you guys joining me, coming along for the ride, being patient with the camera work. It's actually pretty hard to shop and film in a steady and thoughtful way, but I'm working on it for you guys. I hope you guys get out there soon, you find some great stuff, you get paid well for your time, and I always hope that you never stop searching. I will see you guys next time.